Hey friend, just wanted to let you know that the algorithm is really helping a lot. Yeah. Yeah, talk later.
Hey, welcome back to another Real Talk reaction. This one's for Arrested Development Season 4, Episode number 2, people. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. Tell a friend and tell a friend. You know we over here doing it for the algorithm. Thank you.
Alright, a couple comments from the last episode, starting with William, who says, "Hey, great reaction as always. Anyways, just thought you should know you need to watch the intro this season, since almost, if not all the intros, are different from each other. This shouldn't be much of an issue, since there doesn't seem to be a skip intro button. But I just wanted to stress the importance of watching the intros this season, because the intros start to give important information about who the episode focuses on. Like in this episode, it focused more on Michael Bluth. Anyways, just watch the intros this season and you should start to understand why. Also, I really love how in this episode's intro that Lindsay is listed as Michael's twin, but in quotation marks now, since she is actually 3 years older and not related. LOL. Alright, executive producer JoJo says, it was actually 6 or 7 years because this was released in 2013 and the original 3 seasons aired starting in 2003. One part of the viewer experience you missed out on was 6 or 7 years of telling people how good the show was and that they needed to watch it. Basically, this show is the comedy equivalent of The Wire in that way. People who watched it never shut up about it. We've done that a million times. Watch The Wire! Yeah. So I could totally relate. So much so that Netflix brought it back that many years later. Looking forward to these, as I haven't seen the revival episodes on rewatch several times like the original run. I think I watched the original version twice and the remix once. Alright, last comments from Gary Jerry Larry, who says, Always Sunny Season 7 Episode 8 was called a anti-social network, the one with the shisher. Yeah, because I think we mentioned that in this episode. So appreciate that. Yeah. Alright, let's get to Episode 2 right now.
It was over 100 degrees on the border of California and Mexico. But that was nothing compared to the temperature inside George Sr.'s desert sweat.
No, those are bushes, right? Actual...
It'll never stand. See the W's and the word bush. I mean, what else would it be?
You mean other than a 20-foot wide monument that goes 5 miles into the sky?
I know, and I told them it wouldn't stand, which I probably should have.
It's a wall, George. You're looking at it sideways. The W stands for wall. The bushes...
Stand for the bushes. This explains the immigration booth 10,000 feet in the air.
It's to separate the U.S. and Mexico, to keep out the immigrants, which was
Your
my idea.
I remember of the bleach stain on the teal blazer.
How did you miss this, George? This
is my idea.
Is this how you're going to let it all end? As a failure? Is that your plan?
No, of course not.
It was his plan. George Sr. felt discouraged and alone.
Wait, that's the government contract to build the wall.
Yeah.
I already see. Thank you, Mom.
I'm gonna buy it, and then soon as they try to come
This
tell
land
me.
for a song.
George was proud of his
Are
plan.
you listening to me?
So are those cameras, George. We can't use the same cameras from when he was under house arrest.
These are from the maritime penal system. They make us use the waterproof ones.
In here.
Okay, I'm gonna sell
This is
that land to the
maritime, babe.
government for syphilis wall. Then I'm gonna take the cash. I am gonna mount a case that shows that my wife is not the power-hungry monster the SEC wants.
Fuck up his lawn.
I mean, it's still gonna smell like cigarettes all up in this.
They're gonna pay us
I
out.
don't remember the host's name, but he was kind of a sweet.
How did they not crack the fuck up?
So, but I finally just ordered
Oh my god.
a short cake on instead.
I didn't know they sprinkled this. No, please.
Meanwhile, in George Sr.'s sweat lodge, a solution to his problems was emerging as well.
Kinda hot. I give $10,000 for a glass of lemonade right now.
In the form of a vision.
Sweat.
Make a whole CEO sweat. It's so thirsty.
It was to be a sweat and squeeze.
Dr. Norman, we have a hot mess.
George Sr. had been passed out for 2 days after having a vision, which is why this seat was empty at his wife's trial. But soon he was hard at work,
Okay, look up large mud huts.
making his vision a reality.
Something search. Use this one. No. I got
I got black
sweat
Google.
cakes. See what you got.
Because they're not sponsored.
You got it? All right, well then, ship it.
A sweat lodge, where he could be a preacher of profit to other Type A executives like himself.
This whole area.
Okay, I was confused. I was like, it was him at the beginning, right?
We're gonna need industrial-sized juicers.
He went to work on constructing a cemetery,
Now let's get our
much of which he borrowed from his brief stint as a Jewishy guru while in prison.
You read that back to me, please?
This time, however, he needed to be actually ordained as a religious preacher to avoid tax implications. But fortunately, there was a phoenix for him, too. But business really took off when an article about George Sr.'s operation appeared in an exclusively first-class in-flight magazine. And soon the retreat was up and running, and George Sr. was determined to create the illusion of a first-class
And
experience.
did you want the partial bush or broken gate view?
The seminar was
Broken
reasonably
gate.
priced at $1,000. The sweat and squeeze was simple. First, George Sr. sweated out his acolytes' defenses.
Come on, Daniel! You're in Bear Stearns, for God's sake!
I was like this. And I went to the desert to see dancers, and now
And then it was time for the squeeze.
and for another 15 grand, you can have them too. I'll teach you how to get yachts. I'll teach you how to get penthouses and how to get
There we
something
go.
for yourself by taking it from someone who thinks it's his.
Does it come with lemonade?
It comes with all the lemonade you can drink.
Squeeze had two meanings.
Who's in? Sign him up. Sign him up.
That's how you get some extra
Damn,
money.
get that
Let's go, guys.
15,000
And
extra.
George Sr. had even found a great way to handle the heat. He had his twin brother enduring.
Did you bring me some lemonade?
No, sir. It is crazy
bring me
out
some
there for the first time. We are out. Look what I brought you, Mr. Oscar. $50. Your half.
Your half.
And I feel bad taking this. All I did was sit and sweat.
Which is why it seemed that Father B was so resilient to the depleting effects of the sweat lodge.
Woo! Yeah! Now that was the most invigorating session yet. Hey, buddy! Come on, it's
There,
happening.
he's like dying on the
You know,
floor
we're
here.
helping
Yeah, you
you.
got $50 for it, babe. This nigga just made like $100,000.
Little energy.
As the retreat grew, George Sr. was finding himself emboldened with power, while Oscar was bushed.
Hey, Oscar. That scared me. Come on, man. Get back in there. I was starting to sweat.
I'm just trying to get my strength up. Maka usually gets me there. Hey, choose a Maka with me.
I can't, okay? I gotta go up to see Lucille tomorrow.
George Sr. had been meeting with Lucille on a weekly.
Very good, George.
We gotta be careful where we talk about this. I gotta watch my words.
And that's when Oscar realized that George Sr. didn't buy the land to be the best brother in Southern California. On the next
Well, what
Arrested
do is-
Development, We 12
We
published
already
did
did
buy
buy
it
it
for
the wall. It just got paused. That's the only intention we bought it the
confirmed
whole
his
time.
suspicions of the wall while impersonating George
I
Sr.
thought we could talk about the wall. You know, the wall.
Have you baked your brain in that pizza oven? Or is senility your backup plan if we can't get the government to buy the property?
So we only did buy that land for personal gain. Well, but Oscar doesn't know, won't hurt him.
Oscar.
And although it wasn't a perfect
I
impersonation,
love it when you call my name.
he did have the maca root.
George!
Don't call me that. Call me Father B.
It was episode 2 of Arrested Development, and it was a very, very okay episode. Just getting on. If they're gonna break it up like this, we're giving us the backstories of the one-on-ones. That's cool to catch up to see where everybody else is now. Not as hilarious as the first one,
right?
With Michael and them and shit. But I mean, this was a good little catch up to see what's going on now, what he doing, and how he's still out here scheming and scamming. So I just thought it was an okay episode. Can't wait to see what they have next.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think also coming after the first episode, which was just hilarious to me, like I laughed so hard. This one felt so much more calm and like chill, so it didn't have that hilarity factor to it, although I appreciated getting a full episode with both Oscar and George Sr., so I thought it was entertaining. It was just, I was expecting more just because of how funny the first episode was.
Yeah.
So still looking forward to the next one though, and I do like breaking it up in this way. So great feedback as far as the intros, because I totally saw what you meant. It focused on George. It introduced him prior to the show starting, so we knew what the episode was going to be about. So looking forward to the next one.
All right, well, look, thank you guys again for watching another Real Talk reaction for Arrested Development Season 4, Episode 2. And until next time, people, peace.